I'm going to show you how you can use Google Translate and just 2 websites to potentially make $100 a day online, even if you're a complete beginner, don't speak another language, and have zero experience making money online. And honestly, the whole method is pretty simple. But there's one step that really makes the entire thing work, and I'll show you exactly what that is. Hey, I'm Arya, and not too long ago, I was looking for ways to make money online and just kept running into scams, low-paying gigs, and websites that wanted years of experience before you could even apply. I spent hours looking for legitimate opportunities, and most of what I found either paid next to nothing or I'd apply and just never hear back. That's when I started looking for a different approach. Instead of searching for yet another traditional online job, I started looking for simple ways to use free tools I already had access to. And that's when I came across this method, using Google Translate, plus 2 websites. What caught my attention was just how simple the setup was. You don't need professional translation experience, you don't need some expensive AI tool, and you don't need complicated software. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through the entire method step by step, show you what each website is actually used for, and explain how all the pieces fit together. Let's start with the first website. So here's how this method actually works. I'm going to break it down into 5 simple parts, because once you see how everything connects, it starts to make a lot more sense. First, I'll show you the basic money-making mechanic. Then I'll show you the 2 websites where you can actually find paid translation work. After that, I'll show you exactly where Google Translate fits into the process. And just as importantly, where it doesn't. Then we'll do the math and see what it would realistically take to reach that $100 a day target. And finally, there's one important warning you need to understand before trying any of this. So let's start with the part that confused me at first. Step 1. How the method actually makes money. Google Translate itself isn't paying you anything. I mean, you could translate 1 million words with Google Translate, and Google still isn't suddenly going to send you a check. The opportunity comes from connecting people who need translation work, completed with tools that can help you do parts of that work faster. Think about it like this. A company has a document written in one language, and they need it accurately translated into another language. They're willing to pay someone to do that work. Traditionally, that means a human translator goes through the entire document manually. But now, machine translation can potentially help you create a first draft much faster. And that's where Google Translate comes in. You use the technology to speed up the mechanical part of the process, and then you review, correct, and polish the translation before you deliver it. And that last part is very important. Because just copying text into Google Translate, copying the results and sending that straight to a client is not what I'm recommending here. We'll come back to why in a minute. But first, we need somewhere to actually find the work, and that's where website number 1 comes in. Step 2. Website number 1. GoTranscript. The first website is GoTranscript. You may have heard of it before because GoTranscript is mainly known for transcription, but they also offer translation work across a large number of languages. The process is pretty straightforward. You apply as a translator, choose the language pair you're qualified to work with, submit your information, and complete their translation test. If you're accepted, you can access available work and get paid for the projects you complete. And this is where it gets interesting. GoTranscript advertises translation rates of up to 10 cents per word. Now, keep that number in the back of your mind because we're going to use it later when we calculate what it could actually take to reach $100 a day. But don't start doing the math just yet. Because there's another way to find translation work where you're not depending on just one company to give you projects. And that's website number 2. Step 3. Website number 2, Prozee. The second website is Prose.com. And Prozee works a little differently from GoTranscript. Instead of applying to one company and then working from whatever projects they have available, Prozee works more like a marketplace that connects businesses needing language services with language professionals. So, for example, a client might post something like, "I need this document translated from English to Spanish," or maybe French to English, or German to English. They'll give you information about the project and the language pair they need, and qualified translators can express interest and submit a quote. then the client decides who they want to work with. And that's why I like having two different sources in this strategy. You're not relying on just one place. GoTranscript gives you one potential source of projects, and Prozee gives you access to a broader marketplace where different clients are posting translation work. But at this point, you're probably thinking, okay, Arya, where exactly does Google Translate come into all of this? Because so far, these just sound like regular translation jobs. And this next part is where the whole workflow starts to come together. Step 4, the Google Translate plus Q. A workflow. Let's say you receive a document you're qualified to translate. The first thing you can do is take a manageable section of that source text and run it through Google Translate using the correct source and target languages. That gives you a machine-generated first draft. And yeah, that can save you quite a bit of time. But here's the mistake I really don't want you to make. Do not assume the Google Translate version is automatically finished. Machine translation can give you sentences that look completely normal at first glance, but they can miss context, tone, idioms, technical terminology, or sometimes even the actual intended meaning. So this is where the part that really makes the process work comes in. Quality assurance. Read the original, then read the translated version. Does it actually mean the same thing? Does it sound natural? Are the names, numbers, and dates correct? Did Google translate something literally when it really needed to be interpreted differently? Is the terminology right for the subject? And most importantly, does the finished sentence sound like something a real person would actually say in that language? Fix anything that sounds wrong, awkward, or unclear. Then compare your finished translation with the original one more time. That's basically the workflow. Source text, machine-assisted first draft, human review, corrections, final quality check. Google Translate is helping you move faster, but you're still responsible for the final product. And this is also why this method isn't really make money translating languages you don't understand. I know that sounds tempting, but there's a pretty obvious problem with it. If you can't understand the target language, how are you supposed to know when Google gets something wrong? You can't reliably quality check something you can't actually evaluate. And when a client is paying you for professional translation, that becomes a pretty serious issue. Now that you understand the workflow, let's get to the question you're probably really waiting for. Can this actually reach $100 a day? All right, let's do the math. Step 5. What $100 a day actually requires. Remember, GoTranscript advertises rates of up to 10 cents per word. So at the maximum advertised rate, $100 would equal 1,000 translated words, because 1,000 words multiplied by 10 cents is $100. And when you first hear that, it actually sounds pretty achievable. But there's one really important phrase there, up to. That does not mean every project is going to pay 10 cents per word. And it definitely doesn't mean you're automatically going to get 1,000 words of paid work every single day. So let's look at another example. If you were earning 5 cents per word, you'd need 2,000 paid words to gross $100. And at 4 cents per word, you'd need 2,500 words. And now you can start to see why the productivity side of this matters. The question isn't just, can Google Translate process 2,000 words quickly? Of course it can. The real question is, can you properly review, correct, and deliver 2,000 words at the quality the client expects? And can you consistently find that amount of paid work? Those are two very different things. So when you're just starting out, your realistic goal probably shouldn't be, I have to make $100 tomorrow. Instead, it should be, can I qualify for legitimate work? Then, can I complete my first project accurately? And then, can I increase the amount of quality work I complete without sacrificing accuracy? Because $100 a day isn't some magic button. It's an output target, and what you actually earn is going to depend on your rate, how much work is available, your language pair, how quickly you work, whether clients choose you, and the quality you're able to deliver. Which brings me to probably the most important part of this entire video. Before you try this, 3 important warnings. First, Don't pretend to speak a language you don't speak. Google Translate is a tool. It's not a language qualification. So if a platform or a client asks about your language ability, experience, or credentials, just be truthful. Second, check whether machine translation is allowed for that particular project. Some clients may specifically require human translation, or they may have rules about AI and machine translation tools. If that's the requirement, follow it. And don't run confidential client material through a third-party tool if the project terms don't allow you to do that. And third, never blindly submit machine-generated output. Your reputation on freelance platforms can end up being way more valuable than whatever you make from one individual project. If you consistently deliver accurate work, clients may trust you with more work in the future. But if you submit bad translations because you're trying to finish as fast as possible, the whole strategy falls apart pretty quickly. So the real opportunity here isn't Google Translate makes $100 a day for you, because it doesn't. The opportunity is learning how to combine a free productivity tool with places where legitimate translation work is being offered. And now you know the full workflow. You find appropriate translation opportunities through sites like GoTranscript and ProZeed. You accept work you're genuinely qualified to perform. You can use Google Translate as a first-pass productivity tool when the project's rules allow it. You manually review and correct the output. You deliver professional quality work. And as you get faster and start finding better-paying projects, you can work toward whatever daily income target makes sense for you. That's the method. It's not instant money. It's not guaranteed income. And yeah, you're going to have to put in real effort. But compared with a lot of the easy money websites I found when I first started looking online, at least now you understand exactly where the money comes from, what work you're actually providing in return, and what the numbers would need to look like to reach $100 a day. But here's the thing, you don't necessarily have to do translation work to use AI to make money online. I found 5 AI tools that can actually pay you just for using them, and some of them are probably not the ones you're thinking of. I break down all 5, how they work, and how you can get started in the next video. If you found this useful, subscribe because I'm testing more realistic ways to make money online. And I'll show you exactly how they work.